Hi everyone! I don't know about you, but I am super excited because baseball season is right around the corner. During the off season, Major League Baseball players train at indoor facilities just like this. Tonight, I'm here to talk to Tampa Bay Rays All-Star Ben Zobrist. I am Morgan and you are watching the AUGEgirl Network. Ben, thank you for being on my show today. I'm so super thrilled to have you on here.
Thank you so much for having me, Morgan.
You're welcome. Wow, 2011 was quite a year for the Tampa Bay Rays. Looking back at the year, what are you most proud of?
I'm really proud of the way that our team never gave up this last year. We were 9.5 games out of first place, and we were able to come all the way back the last day of the season to clinch a playoff spot in one of the most exciting games in baseball history. So that's the thing I'm most proud of.
Now, I have to admit, I am a super duper Tampa Bay Rays fan. Mentally and physically, what is it like to go through a 162 game season?
It's tough. You know, it's at the beginning of the season, everybody's excited, and you really, you have a lot of energy ready for the season, as the first few weeks happen in the first month and so on. And as the year goes on, you get past the All-Star break. In August, you start really feeling tired. You start feeling like it's a really long season. You're ready to take some off days and things like that. But, you persevere to the end from that time on and hopefully make the playoffs, and that kind of makes it all worthwhile.
That does. What did you personally want to take away from the year to work on and to improve in 2012?
Well, there's a lot of ways that I need to improve as a player, but I would say personally the things that I really want to work on is striking out less. I would like to hit for a little bit more power. Sometimes those things don't happen. You try your best, but I would also like to be a little bit more selective with the pitches that I swing at the plate as a hitter. So mostly hitting things.
That is a perfect New Year's resolution for baseball.
You think so? Good. I'll work on that then.
Well, let's take it back a bit and talk about you in your younger years. As a youngster, what were your favorite things to do?
Oh, I always loved sports. Sports was kind of whenever we had free time, we were going out in the yard and playing wiffle ball or going across the street to the park and trying to hit home runs over the wire. Going down to the grade school, trying to hit home runs over the fence, and actually one time me and a friend drilled a hole in the end of a wooden bat and tried to cork it because we heard about major league players corking their bats, and so we were young and thought, well, let's see if we can cork a bat. Let's see if it'll make the ball go farther. Didn't really work out. All the bouncy ball pieces flew everywhere. We didn't have the end of the bat attached well enough, but it was fun to try it anyways.
Sounds really fun experiment.
Yeah, it was an experiment.
What were your favorite subjects in school?
Math was the one that I liked the most because it was the easiest for me. I always did really well in math class. Got hundreds on a lot of things. We used to have those math races. If you get 100 problems done, who can do it the quickest. So that was my favorite subject. Also, lunch and PE. Those are also fun.
How would you have finished the sentence? As a little kid, when I grow up, I want to be...
It changed at different times. When I grow up, I want to be... It was usually some sort of sports star, but it used to be basketball. It went to baseball. I think at one point it was when the when the Mighty Ducks movies came out with the kids hockey. I wanted to be a hockey player. It's just... it always changed with the fad of the season I was playing. If I was playing baseball, basketball, football, or hockey or something like that.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory, well, one of them was going to see the St. Louis Cardinals play down in Busch Stadium. I was a big Cardinal fan, and I got it for my birthday one year. I got basically all the Cardinals get up. I had Cardinal shorts and socks and cleats and jersey and a hat and the whole deal. So I was pumped up to go to the Cardinals game.
Who is your role model?
Well, sports role models. My role models were Ozzie Smith was my favorite baseball player because he was a St. Louis Cardinal guy. and then Michael Jordan was my favorite basketball player. But I would say overall my role model was probably my dad. You know, he was probably the most influential role model in my life.
What other sports besides baseball? Because that was your main one. What other sports do you play?
Well, I loved basketball. That was probably my first love growing up. We used to go to Bradley University basketball games over in Peoria, Illinois, and one of my cousins played over there, and so it was just kind of a big deal for us to watch basketball. Also, Michael Jordan in the '90s was awesome to watch. So, basketball, then probably baseball. Then I played a little bit of football, so I liked football as well. And also I was actually an avid runner. I was a long distance runner, so.
Ow.
Yeah, I used to run long distances that I don't like doing anymore. I was a lot shorter, lighter, faster than.
I can't run to save my soul. Do you play any musical instruments?
Well, when I was younger in school, I played the trumpet, believe it or not, in the jazz band. And I even had a solo once. I don't know how well I did, but if you can imagine me playing the trumpet, that was my instrument. And let's see, besides that, I'm very unmusically inclined, so that's why I have Juliana.
So tell me, how did you meet the love of your life, Juliana?
Well, I was playing baseball at Olivet Nazarene University in Kankakee, Illinois, and Juliana was still in high school. And her oldest sister, Liz, is married to one of the players on my team, a senior guy on my team. So they were both living at Olivet off campus, and they invited me over. I was a little freshman guy. They invited me over for dinner and kind of took me under their wing a little bit and tried to help me out as a little freshman. So eventually, as I got to know them, they introduced me to Juliana.
What is your favorite thing to eat?
Well, I really like pizza. Pizza's really good. I also like meat. Any kind of meat. I think that's kind of a man thing, you know. I like chicken. Chicken's great.
I like fried chicken.
Fried chicken. There you go.
I don't know, my favorite food, I like sweets the most.
Sweets? Well, if you're, I thought we were talking about normal food. We're talking about candy. My favorite candy is Skittles, always has been. But, you know, any fruity, chewy candy, that's mine. That's what I love. Laffy Taffy, Starburst, Mamba. I mean, I could go on and on. I'll stop there.
As a father, what is the most important thing you want to teach your children?
Wow, the most important thing I want to teach Zion and Cruz is I want to teach them about God. I want to teach them about who created them, and I want to teach them to have a relationship with Him first, but then also to think very deeply and learn how to have good relationships with people around them. You know, because I think relationships are the things that last. You know, and so those are the things I want to teach them about.
That's very important to teach your children.
Yeah. I hope I can do it well.
What do you like the most about being a father?
My favorite thing about being a father is being able to play with my kids, hold them, see them laugh, have fun, just kind of pal around with them, you know. The other day, you know, Zion, you know, he'll just come up to me sometimes and give me a big hug and tell me that he loves me. You know, that's just so awesome as a parent when a kid does that to you.
Now, I understand you have a girl and a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think is easier to raise?
Well, we've only had Cruz for a few months. She's a girl, and Zion is a very active boy. So right now, it's probably easier with Zion just because he's a boy. For me, you know, we can wrestle around, you know. Cruz is a little bit more, you know, you have to be a little bit more gentle and careful and you know, yeah, she's a baby. So we'll see as she gets older what it's like, you know, boy-girl dynamic, you know. But but Zion has his own things that are tough too, you know. He knocked my tooth out last week, so that was kind of
What tooth?
an accident, but this one right here, to the side of my front tooth, it's actually a fake tooth on there right now because they're waiting for the impression to come back so that they can put the cap on there, which is something they make to put over where you broke a tooth. So yeah, that was fun. I went the weekend with a huge gap in my teeth, and that was over New Year's Eve, so we're taking lots of pictures, and I'm like, so it was a good time. But Zion did that with a toy of his, cracked it.
When you were drafted, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Wow, I was just excited. I wasn't. There's all these question marks going through your head, like how am I going to get there? What are they going to do when I first get there? Where do we go? All these things that you don't know how it's going to be. So it's all this unknown thought. So for me, it was just exciting and a lot of unknowns.
What is your favorite song? The song that makes you go all around, pretend like you're a rock star, and sing and dance and go. Ah!
I don't know. There's several of them, really. The one that usually ends up being the one that we all dance to is my wife's song called "Say It Now." And Zion loves, if we ever start dancing or whatever, he turn on "Say It Now," "Say It Now," "Say It Now." He wants to hear "Say It Now" because that song has really great beat, and he loves to sing it, and we all just goof around and dance to it and stuff. So probably that song.
I like Adele songs.
Adele, she's really good.
Rolling in the Deep. It's one of my favorite all-time songs.
She's really good.
What do you most look forward to in the off season?
I most look forward to just being chill, just having some chill time where you don't have to be anywhere. You can kind of make your own schedule. That's really fun. Imagine if you had a season of the school year, where you could decide what time you went to school every day.
If I did that, I would have no school. Maybe I'll come, talk to my friends, say hi, and then leave.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's what we get to do.
I don't even have recess
Come to the
anymore.
gym, say hi, take off.
I don't have recess anymore.
Well, that's a sham.
grade.
You should have recess. You're hilarious.
How do you unwind?
I like to unwind by going out into the country. We have a piece of land, so I get to go walk out in the woods and ride on this four-wheel drive vehicle around the property and trails and stuff like that, and just enjoy the quiet sometimes out there. That's the way I like to unwind.
Do you hunt?
I am starting. I shot my first animal this fall, a turkey, and we cooked it up and ate it. It was very good, very delicious, very hearty, and healthy, I believe. Perhaps. I mean, it was wild, so we don't know. But anyways, that was the first hunting I've ever done. So I enjoyed it. It was fun, but it's like, I just killed a bird. You feel bad about it a little bit, but
Well, you're supposed to. That's good eating.
Well, we had to eat something that night, so we ate the turkey.
What is the most important part of your daily routine?
Sleep.
Same here.
Sleep. If I don't get sleep, I'm in big trouble.
What is the most important part of your daily routine that you hope keeps you healthy during the season?
Well, I'd probably say again sleep, but also eating. For us, we have to eat, good food. Try not to eat as much sweets and stuff like that during the season, just because we have so much demand on our body. Yeah. Well, it also just makes you not feel good. Sometimes if we eat good, we feel better out there, and you generally, if you feel better, you play better. So.
What advice in general can you give kids today?
My advice to kids today would be that you have to learn how to work hard in whatever you're doing. That's part of it. You have to learn how to work hard, but have fun at the same time. And that's something that I think the balance gets off very easily now for kids. So whatever you really like to do, you know, a lot of people won't spend a ton of time doing that and they work really hard at it, but sometimes it gets so hard that all of a sudden they realize, I'm not even having fun doing this anymore. But then there are sometimes other kids where they put so much emphasis on the fun that they never actually put real sweat effort into it. And you have to do both of those things for it to really be a good quality experience, I think, that's going to benefit you both now and in the future.
I am a total klutz anywhere but on the dance floor. I'm as graceful as a swan, and I love to dance, but I put the work into it. So
Well, there you go.
it's the funnest thing in the world.
That's why. It's more fun if you do the work, right? Because then you're out there doing it the right way.
What was it like to play in the World Series against the Phillies?
Well, it was an incredible experience. You know, I hope I get a chance to make it back to the World Series sometime. Just because I think the first time it was so quick and it was like a whirlwind being there, and the media is everywhere. There's people everywhere that want to do interviews with you, every guy on the team, and it's just a crazy atmosphere. Everybody's excited. It's electric, and then you actually play the game, which is, you know, sometimes it feels like the afterthought, you know, after all the cameras and all that stuff. But
The flashing lights blinding you.
but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a crazy experience, and something I'll never forget.
My little brother was there.
At the World Series?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's right. In Tampa Bay.
Out of all your teammates, who are you most close with?
I would say I am closest with probably either Matt Joyce or Sean Rodriguez. Those two guys.
In 2009, you enjoyed the honor of playing the All-Star game in St. Louis. Tell me a little about that experience.
And it was awesome. It was something I didn't know that I would ever be able to do. I mean, it would have been a career goal for me to do it one time. And in St. Louis, that's where I grew up going to baseball games. You know, so it was even that much more special. And we just had a blast. It was a lot of fun being a part of that and just sitting in the same room as all these other great major league players that a lot of them are probably going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. You might be in the Hall of Fame because
Well,
you're an exceptional player.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. But.
How excited were you?
Well, I was probably on the brink of, you know, if 0 to 10 is the scale, I was probably about an 11, you know. So I was off the scale. I was just like, you know, your head is spinning at that point. You're just, wow, this is crazy. This is awesome, you know. And you're trying to like act like, you know.
Yeah.
I've been here before, you know, act like it, but you're really excited.
Baseball players tend to be very superstitious and have rituals. What are yours?
My superstitions, I don't really like superstitions because I think that if things don't work out the way your superstition says they should work out, then or if you aren't able to do the thing that's supposed to help you that day, then all of a sudden you're thinking negatively because you're like, well, I messed that up. I didn't put the right underwear on today or whatever, you know. So I try not to have anything like that kind of, if it gets messed up, it messes my head up a little bit.
What do you like the most about being a professional baseball player?
The actual baseball. I just love the game of baseball. You know, it's fun for me to try and hit in the competition, and I just love the competitive nature of the game.
What is the most important thing to you about being a role model?
Well, the most important thing to me about that is the opportunity that you get through that to actually say something that kids will listen to. You know, because, you know, some kids just won't listen to their parents, and so hopefully people that are role models can actually reinforce some of the things that their parents are trying to teach them.
What is the biggest, most important lesson you've ever learned?
You can't do it alone.
That's true.
That's the most important lesson. You might think that you can, but you can't. So you need other people. You need to be, for me, God. I need to have the Lord in my life. That's probably the most important thing that I've learned, but I can't do it alone.
That's so true. I know your faith is very important to you and your family. What is your favorite verse and why?
My favorite verse is Galatians 2:20, and it says this: "For I have been crucified with Christ, and it is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life that I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and delivered himself up for me." So that story right there is about what Jesus came to the earth to do. He came to take my place. He delivered his life for mine so that I could be made right with God and I could have a new life in God.
What is one thing about your fans would find most surprising about you?
Most surprising about me is that, let's see, I have never, let me see this. Most surprising probably would be that I have actually been in a brawl, a baseball brawl,
What's that?
where all the people
Fight.
get in fights together.
I would never see you doing that.
Well, I
It's
know.
so peaceful.
Yeah, I've done it before, but I was in high school over a wiffle ball game with some friends, so we all got in a fight together.
That's hilarious. What advice can you give all baseball players watching you?
My advice would be for baseball players, I would say, is to keep your eye on the ball. I mean, that's a simple thing, but honestly, like, focus is a huge part of playing baseball. And when your mind wanders and you allow yourself to think negatively, because baseball is a game of a lot of failure, right? So if you can keep your focus on the ball and keep it thinking positively about what you're going to do, then I think it helps a lot.
If my brother heard that, he'd probably think you're 155% right.
He would agree with me?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Well, then I don't have to tell him, right?
What is the best advice you have ever been given, and who gave it to you?
Best advice I've been given, probably the best advice I was given was from the book of Proverbs, and it's the advice that says to seek after wisdom in your life, to fear God and seek wisdom. And I think the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom in my life. So when I start thinking about God and knowing, like, you know what, this life is not all that there is, then for me that helps me kind of keep perspective on things that I'm doing on a regular basis.
What is your favorite charity?
My favorite charity one of them is Fellowship of Christian Athletes. That's been a charity I've been a part of for several years. Since I was in high school was when I first got involved in it. And they do lots of great work sharing Christ through the avenue of sports.
That sounds like an interesting charity.
Yeah, it's great. We have some friends in Ukraine that even do it over in foreign countries, or with Fellowship of Christian Athletes over there, so it's cool.
Wow. How are you involved in making a difference in your community?
Well, I try to be involved in my church, in the Awana program, which is a program for young kids to teach them about the Bible and also play games and teach them the right way to play. And also, we try and do things here at the place where we work out in the off season. Sometimes we'll sign autographs for kids and do some events here. And besides that, I get a chance to go speak in different places. I do a lot of speaking at schools and churches and various events where people ask me to come speak. So I try and bring the message that God lays on my heart.
Why don't you come to my school?
Yeah? You want me to?
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe I'll get a chance to.
That'd be nice. Thank you for donating to my annual Ronald McDonald House Toy Drive this year.
You're welcome.
If you could change one thing in your life, what would it be?
Change one thing. Maybe I would, golly, that's it. I don't think I would change anything right now. I think it's good the way that it is.
AUGEgirl stands for all you got every day. How are you, AUGEgirl?
Well, I like to believe that I try and give everything I have in whatever I'm doing. So if I'm a father, if I'm a husband, if I'm a baseball player at that moment, if I'm a weightlifter or whatever else I'm doing in the day, or even like an Awana leader, at the church, I want to be intentional about doing that to the best of my ability and not leaving anything, doing anything half-hearted.
You're completely 100,000% AUGEgirl.
Really? Thank you.
You're welcome. What is your greatest accomplishment?
My greatest accomplishment? Well, not really my accomplishment. I think it must have been a God thing, but to marry the woman that I married. That was an accomplishment. I felt like, wow, I really lucked out on this one.
What would you like to be most remembered for?
I would like to be most remembered as somebody who loved God, had a strong relationship with God, but also loved his family, and really tried to be the kind of person that honored God with the way that he lived his life. That's how I'd like to be remembered.
That's an amazing way to be remembered.
Thank you.
In 5 years, where would you like to be in your life? What do you hope to have accomplished?
Well, I hope that I'm still playing baseball in the major leagues. I hope that we've won 5 World Series championships.
You can only hope.
And at that point, my kids will be older, and I hope that I still have a great relationship, an even stronger relationship with them now, and with my wife now, or then, as I do now.
A couple of questions that were submitted. I have one question from Gage Smith, an 8th grader from Northport, Florida. He would like to know what inspires you and what pushes you to keep going when things get tough.
What inspires me are those relationships in my life. My relationship with God, my relationship with my family, my relationships with other people. I think at the end of the day, if I accomplish all the things that there is to accomplish in the world, and and I don't have those relationships intact, then I've sacrificed the things that are more important for lesser things. So I think that that's the thing that really motivates me to do the best I can at whatever I'm doing, but also remember that it's about people, not accomplishments as much. It's about the people that you love.
My brother Blake would like to know about your nickname, Zorilla. How did you get the name, and what do you think of it?
I think it's a cool nickname. But do you know what a Zorilla is? It's actually an actual thing.
It is?
Yes, a Zorilla is actually an African skunk. So, there you go. I think it fits me at different times. It could actually be similar to me, but it actually came out from Joe Madden's mouth. There was a rapper, I guess, named Gorilla Zoe, and some of the players on my team would call me Zoe. One guy started calling me Gorilla Zoe when I started hitting home runs. Well, Joe was like, I'm going to adapt that to Zorilla because I like that better. So.
Did you know what that meant?
Not at the time. Not at the time. Later on, we Wikipedia'd it and found out that it's an African skunk. It actually, an African skunk that once held off a pack of 9 lions with the power of its stink.
Well,
That's pretty cool, huh?
thank you so much for talking with me today. I have really enjoyed it.
So have I. It's Been good.
I hope the next time we sit down for an interview, is after you win your first World Series.
That would be awesome.
But for now, I wish you the best luck and happiness of 2012.
Same to you, Morgan. Thank you.
You're welcome, and a good baseball season.
Thanks.
I'll be rooting for your Rays.
All right.
We've talked about a lot today. Is there anything else you want to mention?
Well, yeah, I'd like people to know that my wife and I have a website. It's at www.thezobrists.com, and you can follow us there. And we are regular Twitterers, and so I've just started doing that. My wife's been doing it for a while, but if you'd like to follow us and our family and what we're doing, then you can follow us on that.
Super.
All right.
Thank you for watching. I'm Morgan, and you're watching the AUGEgirl Network. Live, laugh, love, Augie!
This is Ben Zobrist from the Tampa Bay Rays, and you're watching the AUGEgirl Network. Augie, all you got every day. The AUGEgirl Network.